how do you think about in a year ahead? I mean, the weekend you have thoughtful, fun, but substantive conversations. We're about to enter an era of fact-free chaos. How are you gonna try to maintain some thoughtfulness in an era that doesn't seem to value that a whole bunch going forward?
Well, we talked about this the other day amongst ourselves, and one of the things we collectively agreed on is that we just have to stay true to what it is that we do and call a thing a thing. But that means that we can't be Chicken Little. The sky is actually not always falling, right? Every nominee that the president elect has put forward to be a part of his cabinet is actually not a raging MAGA sycophant. Some are, okay, but some are not, Every nominee is not supremely unqualified for their position. I don't agree ideologically with Marco Rubio, but the man is qualified to be Secretary of State. Okay, I do not put Marco Rubio in the same bucket as I would put uh, RFK Jr. Okay, I'm just these two things are not the same, and parsing through it in that way for our audience to us is very important. Drilling down on the issues, but also when something happens that some people could just call run of the mill and just breeze past it. And if it is not that, it is, from our perspective, our job to make sure that we are elevating the conversation. And we did that this past weekend on January 6th. The Sunday before the January 6th anniversary, that Saturday night, Donald Trump held a party in Mar-a-Lago for John Eastman. And then they had a whole documentary talking about his efforts in the big lie to overturn the results of the election, and they had footage and interviews from John Eastman and all the other key players involved in that effort in the lead up to January 6th within that documentary. The president-elect got up and gave glowing remarks about John Eastman and said that he was right. So we started our show with that on Sunday. It's a lot to talk about, a lot to get to, but hold the hell up here. Okay. We just call a thing a thing. So that's what we're going to do. Now, it's going to get exhausting. So we're going to find our moments of levity in the same weekend that we discussed that. I mean, we also talked about the president, the current president's Medal of Honor honorees, Presidential Medal of Honor honorees. Everybody from Denzel Washington to Fannie Lou Hamer to, yes, Secretary Clinton, even Mitt Romney's dad, right? Who was honored posthumously. So was Fannie Lou Hamer. So everything is not, sky is falling. There are going to be bright spots for folks throughout these next 4 years. And frankly, maybe the president-elect is going to go do some stuff I actually agree with. He had a post on his Truth Social site a couple weeks ago where he was talking about why did something take so long? And I said, you know what? I'm with Donald Trump. Why did this take so long? And I said, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I agree with the president-elect. So there are going to be times like that. But I know there are a lot of people out there, frankly, that have just lost faith in the news media. And I understand the news is a lot. And there's a lot of people that feel like, oh, you all said that, they said he was a threat to democracy, and now you're covering him like he's not. And I think the reality is because we live in the United States of America, not a dictatorship. We're not in, this is not a country like Russia where we just do what the president says do, right? Regardless of who the president is. The reality of we have rules and norms that govern what we do. We have a president-elect that has tried to blow through a number of those rules and norms, and people have to be vigilant about that. But one of those things says, when you win an election, and when you lose. And the reality is, Donald Trump won this election. So frankly, if anybody normalized Donald Trump, I'd like to have a word with the voters of the Republican Party primary, okay? Because he's how we got here. So it is not a normalization to cover the president of the United States or the president-elect. But it is a normalization if when things are crazy, you don't call it crazy. And we're going to call it crazy if it is.